Hello everybody, it's Tim here again, here with another video, this time for a review for Chucky Season 3, Episode 1 and 2. Now, as far as the Chucky series goes, I thought the first season was a good 3 out of 4 season, but with a weak final. Season 2, I thought was like a 2.5. Sorry about that. Like, alright time waster season. It was more hit and miss for me. This season so far, I would say, has been stronger story-wise than Season 2. It's been more horror-based, which I appreciate. It's Chucky in the White House. I've only watched the first 2 episodes so far, so this is a review for Episode 1 and 2. They really haven't given any story yet on why he's at the White House or whatever, or what the hell's going on, or why he's there, but it seems like he has to, like, kill off so many people, like 6 or whatever, and so far he's took out 3, I believe. He's got to take out 3 more. I will say this, there's not a lot of Chucky in this. It's back to like the suspense of Chucky in the background and all that, and it's kind of even more so in the background than he was in like the first season. He doesn't get to talk too much. I would say you could probably use a little more Chucky in these first 2 episodes of him like talking and interacting or whatever with other people. I like the setup for it though, so far, or not so much the setup. I mean, Chucky in the White House is kind of a campy idea, but I like the way they're executing it with the mood and stuff they got going here, just like the atmosphere and everything, because it feels dark. I appreciate that. The first episode of Season 3, I found overall 3 out of 4 good. I will say this, the teens from the first 2 seasons, who they're still keeping it like the main characters, they feel much more background now because they're not the main focus of the story, and really I feel like you could probably rewrite this to where it could just stand alone and you wouldn't have to bring the kids back from Season 1 and 2. But because of how they wrote the ending of Season 2 with the sister being taken by Jennifer Tilly or whatever, they really have no choice but to bring him back. So they're there. I think the kids' acting is fine for Lexi, Devin, and Jake. I think they're fine. I will say Devin and Jake, like their whole romance thing or whatever, romantic scenes are starting to become a bit cliche, and there's not a lot more to do with their characters. They're doing more with, they're starting to fall a little bit to the background, I should say, and it feels more so in this season because this season, of course, is focusing on a new story that really doesn't need them. Lexi, she's still good here. I felt that she was one of the stronger parts of Season 2. She seems like she's getting a bit more towards the forefront than the 2 boys, because I guess because Lexi has, they have to develop more of a plot line for her, and the 2 boys are just kind of stuck in like the romance angle. That's kind of it with it, just the teen romance thing going on. There's really not a lot for them to do thus far, but because they work as a team with Lexi and feel like a unit, it kind of works, but they're just more background characters. It seems like they're taking the place of like the Andy character and all that now, with like hunting down the last Chucky or whatever is at the White House, which is interesting. Andy, I missed that character. He was underused in the first 2 seasons. They never gave me like the Andy episode that I really wanted, which would have been like him and Kyle walking into like a factory or a place where there's like multiple Chuckies attacking them from everywhere, and they were like gunning them down left and right. That's what I always wanted in terms of this whole multiple Chucky idea that they had in the first 2 seasons. But I guess they just didn't have the budget for that. And I'm glad they're not doing the multiple Chucky thing again. I'm glad it's back down to 1 Chucky at this point. I'm glad the multiple Chucky like idea or angle is wrapped up in Season 2. They pretty much did all they could with it. I'm glad that that's over. Yeah, but first episode, 3 out of 4, good. It ends with Chucky like shooting one of the White House guys in the head. Some weak digital effects in this one, like to make the house that they're in look bigger, to look closer to the White House, obviously. And like some digital blood, a little weak, a little noticeable, but overall 3 out of 4. The second episode, it was okay. Pretty much it's just Miss Fairchild trying to get to the White House, and Chucky cuts a chick's head off with a letter opener. It's a pretty cool effect. You get some funny Brad Dourif lines. Brad Dourif does sound older, but he still does a good job as Chucky, and I'm glad it's still him voicing the character. Yeah, he cuts the chick's head off or whatever, and you get the kids like trying to get to the White House, and Lexi's like making friends with the older son, but because the president is played by Devin Sawa again, which is kind of funny to have him back. At this point it is a little bit much to have him back for 3 or another, what's this, like his 1, 2, his 3rd character, I guess, in the series, but he does a good job here still. And so they're trying to get to the White House or whatever, and they got Mrs. Fairchild with them, who's now their keeper, pretty much, who was like a teacher in the first season. She does an overall good job, and I like that there's an adult on the kids' team, but then she gets to the White House and she gets strangled with an American flag back by Chucky, who just does it just to piss the kids off and mess with them more. It was a good kill, but at the same time, she felt a little underused. I like the actress, and it was neat having like an adult on the kids' team or whatever. And I know killing her off was like meant to be a surprise or whatever, but at the same time, she felt underused. I feel like they could have done more with her, maybe killed her off later. I know that Don Mancini likes to do stuff like this in the series, as like surprise kills and surprise moments, because you wouldn't expect this to happen so early. I get it, but at the same time, just surprise moments, they only work when they're not done all the time. Like killing off a character who seems like they're going to be major, that doesn't work all the time because he does it so much. If he did it lesser, he's done it in multiple times in the series. If he did it lesser, trying to kill off characters that you didn't expect, then it would feel more surprising. But at this point, he's done it in both the first 2 seasons and now, so it seems a little old. So yeah, I felt like she was underused. So, but overall for the second episode, it was okay. 2 out of 4, okay. So far for season 3, for the first 2 episodes, I'd give it a 3 out of 4. Good season so far, good vibe. And I'm sorry if you hear traffic in the background. I'm doing most of these videos outside pretty much now, but yeah, overall 3 out of 4 for the season so far for the first 2 episodes. It's good so far, but I want to see where it goes. And there's only 4 episodes because the actor strike and everything. They gotta wait till next year before we can see the rest of the season. But yeah, so far 3 out of 4. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again.